Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. So tonight we're going to do another Trim the Filler episode. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I've had this one in mind for a while because this is a album that I really love. It's Phil Collins' Dancing to the Light. I think it's probably his most underrated solo release, and it's this close to being my favorite album from him. I prefer No Jacket Required because I love every song on No Jacket Required. I love every song on No Jacket Required. I love most of the songs on this one. There's a few that I'm not crazy about, and I think it's a little bit overly long. There's some songs I could have done without. A couple of bonus tracks that I think should have been on the album. So what I decided to do was resequence this thing, take the filler off of it, and kind of turn this into how I would have arranged this album. And had had it been put out this way, I would have, for me personally, it would have been right there with No Jacket Required. So let's get into this. We're going to still kick the album off with the title track, Dancing to the Light. Logical choice. Dancing to the Light is my favorite song on the album. It's a great opener. Really fun, really upbeat. Sets a great tone for the album. No complaints. Dancing to the Light's got to stay number one. That's What You Said. I'm going to keep it number two. I really like the melody in that song. I think Phil has great melodic sensibilities, and they're on full display all over this album, and especially with this song. I think it keeps that momentum. It's not quite as upbeat as Dancing to the Light, but it's very melodic, very poppy. Keeps that momentum going. I really like that song coming off of Dancing to the Light at track 2. Track 3, I'm going to move It's in Your Eyes up to track 3. I believe that was one of the singles on here. So we're going to move that up towards the front of the album. And even though that song does sound a lot like That's What You Said, I still like the idea of kind of keeping that momentum going. I think they're different enough tracks that it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel too samey, I guess, putting those similar tracks together. But I like the idea of keeping the momentum going there. And then track 4 is where we're going to start changing things up a little bit. With Lorenzo, originally the third track on this album, but I wanted to build a little bit more momentum up before we get to Lorenzo. I've really grown to love this song a lot. There's a lot of great drum work on this song. This song's got fantastic drum work, and it's really this whole album has a lot of like African vibes going on, and this song is really the pinnacle of it. Not to mention the line that is in the repeated in the song, Back to East Africa. But aside from that, still a lot of African vibes going on. And I've come to find out that the song is actually about a guy named Lorenzo who was diagnosed with ALD when he was 5 years old. And I don't have a lot of the details of this story, but he was given 2 years or so to live, but he wound up living, I believe, till he was 30. His parents kind of took no for an answer, and they came up with some therapy called Lorenzo's oil, I think. I'll have to look more into this. I came across this story a little bit ago, so it really made the song a little bit more interesting to me, and a little bit more touching in a way as well. So I really like the story in the song. I like the drum work. I love the way it sort of represents the album. I think at this point, track 4 is a nice part in the album to sort of change the pace a little bit. So I'm going to put Lorenzo at track 4. Track 5, coming off of Lorenzo, I'm thinking this is where I really want to pick the album back up and put another really upbeat song. And like, I was thinking like, Wear My Hat, Wear My Hat. And I'm like, no, I don't really want to put Wear My Hat on the album because I don't really like that one that much. But there's another song on here that's very similar to Wear My Hat. And in my opinion, it's 100 times better. And that's Take Me Down. Another faster paced, upbeat pop song from Phil. Wear My Hat to me is just like a little too goofy. This one is I'm a little bit more into. I like its placement right here after Lorenzo, so it kind of picks the pace of the album back up. If this was a vinyl, this would close out the A side. But since we're in 1996, I'm just sort of doing this like with CDs in mind. So I think this is a great spot for Take Me Down. So open up the B side if we're doing vinyl, but if we're just doing CDs, track number 6, we're going to go back to sort of that mid-tempo melodic groove that a lot of the songs on this album fall into, and that Phil is so great at, and that is Love Police. Probably my second favorite song on the album. And I just kind of like this one to bring the pace of the album back to that medium, like where That's What You Said and It's In Your Eyes kind of left off. That's sort of like where this album to me lives, and then we're going to take like some pop or some more upbeat songs and some more slower songs and sort of balance things out. But I think kind of getting back to the prime pace of the album, Love Police is one of my favorite tracks on here. Or like it at track number 6. All right, now one of the songs that's actually not on the album itself. It was an outtake or a bonus track or something or other. It popped up on Phil's YouTube page under the Dancing to the Light album, and they had like some extra tracks or some bonus tracks. And this is my favorite one. It's short, it's to the point, it's fun, it's upbeat. It's called I Don't Want to Go. I love it a lot. And it had to be on here because it's a really catchy song that just really grabs my attention. I can't believe it wasn't on the album itself. Really fun track. I'm going to put it right here. It feels a lot like a second song. I thought about trying to work it somehow to put it at track number 2 because it just has that track 2 vibe to it, but it didn't quite work. So put it at track 7 because it would be track 2 on the B side. I still think it flows very nicely in this spot right here. We're going to go to another song that was not on the actual album. It's called Another Time. It's a slower song, but it's a song that sort of builds as it goes along. It's about, I think, approximately like 5 minutes. The song just kind of gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger as it goes along. I like that. I was torn between that and The Same Moon. That Same Moon wound up being the one that I cut. For Another Time, I just like that song just a hair better. Plus, I think it adds a little bit of variety to the mix of the album. So we're going to put Another Time in the 8th spot. Number 9, we're going to go with No Matter Who. Great song. I think it really works well as a penultimate track. It just has that feel, that sound to it, and it's a great song. And then we're going to close things with River So Wide, which I think would be a really, really cool closer. It's a great song, great drum work. I think it caps things off really well. And that would be my official album closer. However, I personally do like the cover song, The Times They Are Changing. Bob Dylan, of course, is a legend in his own right. Great songwriter. In my opinion, though, and I think a lot of people may agree with me when I say Phil Collins is a much more pleasant singer to listen to. I like his take on it. I do. I hear it get trashed a lot, but I like the cover. But for me, it's going to be an unlisted track, or it's going to be a bonus track, something of the sort. It's not going to be like the official track listing, but I'm either going to put it on here as like an unlisted track or a bonus track. But River So Wide, the official album closer, but I want to throw this on as a bonus, Times They Are Changing, because I do like it quite a bit as well. So there you have it, my resequenced Dancing to the Light. Let's go through this one more time real quick. We have track 1, Dancing to the Light. Track 2, That's What You Said. Track 3, It's In Your Eyes. Track 4, Lorenzo. Track 5, Take Me Down. Track 6, Love Police. Track 7, I Don't Want to Go. Track 8, Another Time. Track 9, No Matter Who. Track 10, River So Wide. And then the unlisted or bonus track being the Bob Dylan cover, Times They Are Changing. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this album. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will catch you next time.